you doing out there? It's Darren and Joe over at Real Estate Reality, Thursday, 2 o'clock. Here we are, Darren.
Hey.
Guys, thanks for joining us once again. This is our weekly live stream about the real estate market here in Northeast Los Angeles, sometimes elsewhere. And we'll do the usual. We're going to talk about our brokerage's Avenue 8 email newsletter. It's talking about putting everything in historical context. And we're going to talk about seller wins, buyer wins. We're going to talk about Art Unite. And congratulations, we finally sold a home after a year and a half.
We sold one in a year and a half?
Well, no. It's not like that, guys. It's not like that. But this was a real laborious process
Yes.
between us and our seller, Howard. And, it looks like a good win. It was a good win. $4 million, Arcadia, what was it, 8,000 square foot home?
Yes. Six bedroom, 8 bath.
8 bath. Yeah, it was amazing. So check it out on our site, and we can do that once again for you. So keep that in mind. Okay, well, before I get too far into it, the disclaimer: Darren Hubert and Joe Cloninger are real estate agents at Avenue 8 under the Urban Hillsides brand. All opinions expressed by Urban Hillsides or guests on this video are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Avenue 8. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Urban Hillsides as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of Urban Hillsides team's opinions. This video is for informational purposes only. All right. So, Darren, let me punch it up here. The Avenue 8 newsletter. I know you're a big fan. It's called The Landscape. Let me get over there and see. Let's see. Okay. October 19th. Here it is. Okay. Make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'll go ahead and read it, and we'll go from there. So the Landscape from Avenue 8. This is October 2022. It's their monthly email. Last year's anomaly is not today's economy. Putting 2022 into historical context. In March of 1962, Wilt Chamberlain set an unbroken NBA record of 100 points in a single game. For the remainder of the season, he averaged only 37 points. Today, rather than fixating on the 83% or 63% decline, we remember that night in March as an extraordinary exception, not the rule. Yet in today's housing market, most headlines focus on 2022's performance relative to what was once one of the most anomalous years in recent memory, rather than historical averages. The 2010s began with a post-recession recovery that fueled transaction volume from a low of 4.2 million resale transactions per year to a 5.6 million in 2020. Months later, the effects of work-from-home provisions and record low interest rates buoyed the market to north of 6 million transactions in 2021. While 2022 is undoubtedly a slower year for the market, there's no question that 2021 was an aberration. Industry analyst Mike Delprete articulates how last year is not a good benchmark, and in fact, when compared to the average of the past 10 years, today's market is only 0.9% below average. Wow. And interest rates? The average 30-year mortgage rate in 2005 was 5.87% and 6.41% in 2006, in the years leading up to the Great Recession. These levels are similar to rates today, even after several rounds of aggressive rate increases by the Federal Reserve. Still, existing home sales reached a record in 2005 with over 7 million transactions. All this to say, while it is true that the market is going through an adjustment period from last year's frenzy, headlines using 2021 as a reference point are often exaggerated. Buyers, sellers, and agents can all benefit from using a longer-term historical lens and being reminded that 2022 has been anything but mediocre in comparison to most years in recent history. So unpack that a little.
Well, usually I feel our newsletter, our Avenue 8 letter is just a straight shooter. This one's tweaking a little on the side of trying to market, I must say.
Okay, all right.
Just a little. The interesting thing about so many real estate articles is that, and just stats in general, you can you can make stats look one way or the other. They're absolutely correct in what they've stated. Yep. Interest rates are not ridiculous. Yep. Volume of sales are not unheard of and not an astronomical thing, although they are down from 2021 as they stated. Mm-hmm. Those two things are accurate. What is not factored in, and this is where the combination of three things is what makes it a different market, a more difficult market, is the price points. So the price points are substantially higher. Yeah. Now the interest rates have more of an impact on those price points. It's probably the most relative comparison between the two.
Well, it's interesting too. The other factor here might be, how much were people getting paid in those days? I don't know.
Wages have increased, right? So what we were hearing a lot of back in 05, 06 was just a continual cost affordability rate, that a ratio of how many average people can afford to buy. That number dipped well below 20% back then. I think we're probably, and I'd be interested, maybe at our next live stream, we can have that data. My guess is that those numbers are similar. But things are different. We have more stability in the mortgage environment. Right. But yeah, article is true. I don't question that. But the prices are what make those components seem more daunting and harder to absorb.
Yeah, good observation. Little off topic, but they used Wilt Chamberlain, and I don't know if you saw it, but I saw a documentary. I think it was HBO on Jeremy Lin and Linsanity. And
didn't.
Oh yeah, it's really good because it really talks about Asians and how they gained a new sense of identity through his efforts there. And the only thing, we don't hear about Jeremy Lin now, right? But the one thing is that game that he played against the Lakers where he scored 38 points against Kobe. And Kobe pretended like he didn't even know who Jeremy Lin was at the beginning of the game. But people remember that one thing. So, yeah, I thought that was funny. Okay, so the rest of this, let me just go ahead and read on. It says, on the horizon, an emerging wave of creative financing. I thought this was timely for us as well.
Very timely,
right? Yeah. Sellers are finding ways to unstick the market, and that's what we're trying to do. As the average monthly mortgage has increased significantly from earlier this year, when interest rates were at a 5,000-year low, and prices continue to rise, a growing number of homeowners looking to sell have begun to identify new ways to attract buyers and generate residual cash flow at the same time, seller financing. Rather than discounting the sale price, some sellers have been offering potential buyers lower cost financing than they would otherwise receive from lenders. These financing solutions often bypass the need to go through a bank for the buyer and can generate an attractive ROI. As an example here, 3.5%. On the bridged capital for the seller, typically they have a 5 to 10 year maturity period with a balloon payment at the end, so that the buyer can refinance with the bank if they believe that rates will modulate downward. In many cases, these structures are a win-win for both parties. As these creative seller financing solutions become more popular, have you recently encountered unique examples in your own market? We want to know. Send a note to hello@avenue8.com. So, yeah. We just got a phone call about this.
We did. And seller financing, we were all over the place on that call. And God, what a dynamic person that guy is that we were speaking with. So aggressive out there, trying everything he can possibly do to institute all these options. And, clearly some of the methods he was discussing were just too aggressive for my personal nature. Right. But other things make sense. Yes, it could be a win-win. The repeated theme that he kept putting out there that we discussed was that in the end, if a seller isn't getting their price, maybe they can get their price through seller financing. It delays their payment. It delays them getting the lump sum that they're seeking. And simply put, that works for some people and it doesn't for others.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to get your price today, you'll make some interest along the way. You're being rewarded for waiting. You know, you're making interest and principal payments throughout. So you're receiving that, and then you get the lump sum at the end on a refinance. It's a little scary, I would imagine, for most sellers to act like a bank. You know, the biggest question is going to be, well, what security do I have? The most fundamental question, and that fundamental question is, the fundamental answer to that question is that you have a lien, a deed filed against the property, recorded with the county recorder. So if they ever went to try to sell that property, you're in the first position, and they can't sell it without paying you. It would be that clear. There are foreclosure proceedings. If they stop paying, those are built into the process as well. So if it's something you're comfortable with, definitely let's have a conversation. We're developing our resources. We've done it before. It's been many years for me. But let's have a talk. It doesn't hurt to have a conversation about it to see if it's something you'd consider and if you're comfortable with it.
Yep. Okay, and then as we read on, just some talking points. 56%. This is proportion of a 109-person expert panel expecting a buyer's market by the end of 2023. Source Inman. 1.4% plus minimum forecast for year-on-year home value growth in 2023 by experts. Oof. And that is sourced from Zillow, NAR, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac.
Wow.
Pretty well sourced. And then 20. That's number of months of positive growth in rent nationally before a 0.1% decrease in August 2022. And the other number here, 7,045. Typical monthly mortgage payment in August for a home in San Jose, the highest in the nation. And then it moves on to the keys. The volume of home sales in the higher priced and luxury segments remains largely unaffected. And it shows here change in national home sales year on year, percentage August 2021 to August 2022 by price segment. Well, have to decipher that later. Takeaway is August is historically a slower month for home sales, which was exacerbated this year by high inflation and historically low inventory. However, sales decreased the most in the lower price segments. Sales for homes priced above $500K decreased only slightly year on year. Welcoming news for sellers in expensive coastal markets. Okay. And then finally here, fewer homes are selling over asking price both nationally and in LA and San Francisco. And the takeaway here is the proportion of homes selling for above asking has decreased in the summer after peaking in April. While about half of the homes in Los Angeles and San Francisco are still selling above asking, it has become more imperative for agents to set realistic expectations for sellers and provide appropriate guidance in determining the asking price. Yep, we've said that a couple times.
Yeah, I will say this too. They talk about the year-over-year pricing. I've been noticing that too. Again, how you deliver the data and the stats is relevant there. Because when you go to meet with a lot of sellers, they don't care about what's sold in October of 2021.
Right.
What's top of mind for them is what's sold in June 2022. So, yes, the numbers went up, and they did get higher, and they've come down from the peak probably in the range of June. So there has been a pullback in pricing, but when there's a year-over-year comparison, there has not been. So, it's always easy it's hard to base choices on a very small amount of data. But that's probably our biggest battle as agents, is getting people to understand it's not June.
Well, you're making me think. Again, you see some weaknesses somewhat in this content, and now I'm just thinking about it. What was our first story? Not comparing things to 2021.
Right.
They are comparing things to 2021.
To 2021. True.
Come on, guys.
And yeah, in that case, they're talking about it's not a negative, and now they're saying they're using it as a positive. Again, using stats in a way that
Yeah,
I get it. So I want to point that out because
yeah, good point.
we'll continue to see that year-over-year comparison.
Yeah.
It's gonna look, it'll look tough if it's June to June when that time arises.
Right. Okay, well, there you go. One thing is a bit of a commercial break before we get to the market news is I wanted to talk super quick about Art Unite. So, Darren, we're like 29, 30 days away. And here's the site. And the gallery grows week by week, day by day. So we already have some great stuff up, some great contributions. And for those that are artists, please know that it's your choice to make a 100% donation to the proceeds in terms of a winning bid, and that money going to CCAC. And then you also have the choice of 50-50. So, one thing I wanted to point out to you, it might be a little too dark, but you see Dalai Lama here.
Yeah.
This is a well-known artist, Tutu, from Echo Park, Yingming Tu. And this thing is 5 feet by 6.5 feet, man. It's huge. So that'll certainly be, a focus of the show, at least physically, when it's there.
And Joe, I assume, and most artists are used to this. You can establish a minimum if you want to. It's not just whatever it sells for.
Starting bid is up to the artist.
Yeah.
If you don't, certainly we go ahead and put something in. But a lot of control from the artist side for sure.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday, and this is not on the gallery because it's so fresh. The people over at Frank Romero's studio, Frank included, have donated. Oh, there it is. 3 pieces. So we've got this one. We have another one from his home in Hawaii, which I don't think people see much of. And then we also have this other one here. Let me open it up. I didn't know, but he also does ceramics. So this is his pretty traditional, famous iconography of a Los Angeles palm. But he has a kiln at home, and he does ceramics as well. So thank you so much, Frank and Gabriel, over at the studio there. So those are our freshest things. Yeah, really nice. And we've got some more surprises coming as well. Margaret Garcia's already put her stuff in. We have Gronk and Gus Harper with their work, and it goes on and on. So participate, find out what it's for. CCAC, Central City Action Committee. We're trying to help them replace a stolen van. It's as simple as that. And we do have to thank some of our sponsors, Los Angeles Ale Works, Casita del Campo, Masa of Echo Park, and Urban Hillsides. Imagine that. And a couple more coming on as well, I think. So keep it in mind, it's November 17th. Join us. We'll be happy to see you there. Okay? All right, so now let's move on. Go ahead.
One more quick note for those of you who can't join us on the 17th, because I was speaking to someone today, you can bid online for the artwork in advance, I believe starting the 16th. Is that correct, Joe?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And then the bidding will end the evening of the 17th.
Right, at the end of the live event, right,
Yeah.
around 9:15.
Cool.
Yeah. Good point, because, I told Frank yesterday that his piece that sold last year came from not someone local, but someone from Texas that participated in the online side. So, yeah, good point. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to our market watch in terms of mortgage rates and then also the local market. So here we are again, man. 30-year fixed mortgage rates. let me do this because I thought this was actually a better way to look at it. Let's see, today's mortgage rates. Okay, there you go. So 30-year fixed, at least as of, I think today, right? It's real time. 7.37.
Yeah, and I always want to point out that jumbo 6.25.
Yeah, yeah. Again, more towards our market. Right?
Yeah.
6.25 with the prices that we have here. And then you've got 15-year fixed, 6.68. The 5/1 ARM, 6.55. And 30-year FHA, if you're lucky enough to get it, 6.88. And VA at 6.9.
Best rate 30-year jumbo, man.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. And that famous graph, let's take a look. So no relief there, but again, this is only going back to 2021. And but some aggressive moves in the last couple of days, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be, the Fed's been getting some pressure. Some economists, prominent economists, are vocalizing their concern about...
They're being too aggressive, right?
They're being too aggressive, that the Fed's putting too much pressure on the economy. So I'll be curious to see if it has any impact on their next meeting and what they do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, there you go. That is the Mortgage Rate Watch, courtesy of mortgagenewsdaily.com. Check that out. And now I want to go to seller wins, buyer wins. Okay. Bear with. Let's see. Let's see. Seller wins, buyer wins. I can't hear you, Darren, or something's gone off. There you go. I hear something. Okay, there you are.
Okay. You
All
went
right.
away for a moment there.
Okay. Well, look, so here we are. These are the solds from this week. There were a total of, I think, 11. And I took some info out because there just weren't enough photos. But working with this, again, we see most things well above asking price or list price. And really the discounts are few and far between. As you can see there, 1% and 3%. So, and I decided, Darren, to add the days on market, and the median, at least this week, was around 14 days. So, still pretty brisk for the right homes.
Yeah. Yeah. And, the right homes are still selling very well, quickly. I mean, that first one, I'll say, with the biggest jump was one that was clearly priced low again. But they got the result they wanted by the market driving it right back up.
Yeah.
It's something that we often talk about. It's a questionable policy to go too far below, but in some cases it works.
Yeah, you're talking about Ivanhoe, right? That one.
Oh, sorry, I was talking about Vincent.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll look at that one too. But Ivanhoe had the same effect, yeah. Okay, so that is it on the local market watch. And, Darren, I was mentioning maybe as we go through the seller wins and the buyer wins, we can take a look at a 7-day view of that particular zip code or that area and kind of compare and see how that works.
Sure.
Okay, so let's get started. We're going to go to Vincent. Let me open up the MLS.com. Let's see here. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay, so the numbers here, 5034 Vincent Avenue. List price $1,289,000. Sold price $1,800,000 for a $511,000 increase in price. 140% above asking, 40% above asking. 12 days on the market to sell. Let's see what they saw. I thought this was a really nice home.
Super nice, and what looks like a very nice ADU.
Yeah.
In addition to a one-car garage.
And, you know, I'd like to think one of the reasons why this got a good price is that the owner is the agent. So I think they had some good info. They knew what to do. 4034 Vincent Avenue. This is Eagle Rock. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,698 square feet of living space. Sold price $1,800,000. Lot size 6,239 square feet. This took, again, 12 days on the market to sell. And this was brought to us by Bryony Atkinson and Abigail Dotson. And on the buy side, Taylor Catlin represented the buyer. So, yeah, a lot of good things done well here.
Yeah, super. Yeah, it just shows very well.
Yeah.
Super clean.
Now, you know, one of the things, so let's go ahead and take a look at Eagle Rock. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see here. So if we look at Eagle Rock over the last couple days, or last 7 days rather, let me see if I can do this. Wow. I don't see what I'm looking for. There it is. So, overall, for Eagle Rock, we're going to look at the market there in the last 7 days and see how this matches up. Here it comes. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So, if we look at 90041, I don't know, can you see that, Darren? That might be tough.
It's too small for me to see the
Yeah.
details.
There we go. How about that?
Yeah, that's better.
All right. So, excuse me. All right, there it is. Market Pulse for 90041. So in the last 7 days, let's mark that. Average valuation estimate was 1.1 million. Absorption rate was 11 days. So to get rid of the existing market or the existing inventory, it would take 11 days, it seems. There were only 3 actives that came out at 1.3 million, 1 cancellation at 1.5 million, 2 closed at 1.4 million, and 1 expired at 1.9 million. And status updates, that could be several things. That average price was at 1.5 million. So 1.8, well over the average here, at least in the last 7 days. So.
Right, and I'd classify that property as being over average.
Yeah. Like you said, with the ADU. And then over the last 30 days, there are 10 actives at 1.6, 10 closed at 1.3. So yeah, again, outstanding price. Okay, let's move on. We're going to go to Ivanhoe. Darren, this was the fixer I think you pointed out in your actives.
Yeah, just such a great neighborhood.
Good amount of space. I wonder if they'll divide this up or just make some mega mansion out of it. Let's see. Okay. So this is 2411 Ivanhoe Drive. This is Silver Lake, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,038 square feet of living space. Sold for $1,450,888. And this is on a 9,888 square foot lot. The numbers, they're all coming together. Days on market, 18. This started at a list price of $995,000. And what does that turn into? I forget. That was like 146%. So 46% over. And this was a probate. It took, let's see, how many days on market? There it is, 18. And this was brought to us by Nancy Sanborn and Brian Joy on the seller's side. And on the buy side, the agents were Jesse Yang and Shanahan Yang. I'm sure there's a relation there. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. But obvious work to do. But great neighborhood. That's what they paid for.
Yep.
All right. Next, And then let's go ahead and look real quick at Silver Lake. So Silver Lake, 90039 area. Let's take a look. Where is it? 90039. Well, I got rid of it. So let's do this. Let's go 90039. Okay, there it is. So last 7 days, what did this market look like? So average valuation estimate was 1.2 million. Absorption rate still very quick, 7 days. And then at the top here, there are 3 actives that came in at 1.8 million. 4 active under contract at 1.9 million. 3 closed at 1.6 million. And there are 2 pending in the 1 million average price range. And overall status updates, there were 12, and that totaled up to an average price of 1.6. So the bottom looks like 1.6 there, 1.5. Wow.
Yeah, those 1.1 ranges are definitely going to go up in price. That's quite low for that zip code, although that zip code covers a lot of geography, and there's varying housing stock within that zip code.
Right. Okay, let's see. Let's move on to, bear with me here. Okay, now we're going to 2002 North Oxford Avenue. This was listed at $2,995,000. Landed at $3,300,000 for a $305,000 increase. See, 10% over its list price. Took 16 days on the market to sell. He's going to contract. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so this is 2002 North Oxford Avenue. This is Los Feliz. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,230 square feet of living space. Sold for $3,300,000. Lot size 7,425 square feet, and this took 16 days on the market. And this was brought to us by Alexandria Jack, and on the buy side, Alexandra Care. So congrats to them. As usual, Darren, with most Los Feliz homes, pretty picture perfect.
Yeah, super charming. Some, there's enough original elements, but some nice updates. It seems like it's a good combination of both of those on this property.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, we will now go off to buyer wins, what we consider buyer wins. And let's take a look. I'm still getting used to this. Let's take a look at the Los Feliz market. Here it is, 90027 in the last 7 days. So average valuation estimate here, 1.8 million. Absorption rate, 14 days. So again, very brisk in terms of sales. Average price with the 4 actives that came on, 4.1 million. The 3 active that are under contract, 2.7 million. 1 canceled at 10.9 million, and then 2 closed or sold at $4 million. 1 pending at 2.5, 1 withdrawn at 1.3, and then of the status updates, there were 12. Again, 4.3 million was the average price there. So, no surprise. It's a very highly valued market.
Yeah.
Okay, next we're going to go to Division Street. This is 4150 Division Street. Started at $1,149,000 and set at $1,149,000 its sold price. Took 23 days on the market to sell. So let's see what this looks like. Okay. Okay, this is 4150 Division Street, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,448 square feet of living space, sold for $1,149,000. This is Mount Washington, and the lot size was 5,516 square feet. And let's see, days on market 23. The original list price, Darren, was $1,299,000, and then it went to $1,149,000. And it's funny I'm seeing that now because that's what I was going to say. This really feels like, at least in the recent past, maybe a $1,000,003 home, and sure enough, that's what they were trying to get.
Sure.
This is brought to us by Rick Llanos on the seller side, and on the buy side, David Black. So congrats to them.
Yeah, not much to say. As the market shifts, maybe smaller things start having an impact, like being on a semi-busy street.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a good price. Good for them.
Yep.
Okay, next, let's see here. Oh, and looking at Mount Washington. Let's go to Mount Washington. That's usually 90065. There it is. Now, this is a combination of some other areas as well. But last 7 days, average valuation estimate 960,500. Absorption rate 7 days. 3 actives that came on were at 1.3. There is one home that went under contract for 889,000. One canceled at 1.3. 3 closed. They sold at 1.1 million. And status updates, there were a total of 8, and the average price there was 1.2 million. So, between Mount Washington and Glassell Park, I'm sure Glassell Park had a lot to do with this as well. It'd be interesting to see that.
Yeah, because that zip code covers 2 areas. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to Moss Avenue, 2683 Moss Avenue. This listed at 999,000, and let's see, it settled at 988,000 for an $11,000 reduction, and took 89 days on the market to sell. So let's take a look. Hold on here. Okay. Let's see. All right. Now this price kind of surprised me. I thought this was a really good value. So 2683 Moss Avenue. This is Glassell Park, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,218 square feet of living space. Sold for 988,000, 11,000 below. The lot size 7,505 square feet, and let's see, days on market 89. And let's see, this is brought to us by Harmony Hefner and Michael Carlo Garcia for the seller, and on the buy side, Brock Lower represented the buyer. So what do you think?
The one thing I'll point out is that when you comb through all the photos, the last photo is a drone photo, and it shows a massive apartment building right next door.
Good point. Here, let me go back to
I'm guessing that may have some impact.
Yeah, for sure. But if you can tolerate that, the tall buildings next to you, looks like a lot of land that hasn't been used.
Yeah, it is a lot of land. Well, if there's a big apartment next door, that means at one time it was zoned for multi-units. It may still be.
Yep. Okay. Good one there. I think also too, for those 89 days, I'm sure there's a whole other story there that we don't know about. Because that just seems abnormally long for such a good-looking property. All right, we're off to 1635 Maltman Avenue. This is listed at $1,695,000. Sold price $1,647,000 for a $48,000 reduction, 3% discounted. Took 12 days on the market to sell. Let's take a look. All right. Okay, 1635 Maltman Avenue. This is Silver Lake, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,450 square feet of living space. It sold for $1,647,000. It's on a 7,340 square foot lot. And days on market 12. Let's see, this was brought to us by Jimmy Martinez. And on the buy side, Jennifer Shore and Megan Marsden represented the buyer. So, again, pretty much, I don't see anything wrong with this house. It's a great house.
Yeah, super charming. Maybe
Right.
just slightly overpriced for today's market is all
Yeah. Yeah.
comes to mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good street. Nothing wrong with this at all. All right. Get out of here. So we now go to actives. Tell me what you got out there, dear.
Sure. Well, let's. I don't think we've looked at this one. Let's do 926 Robinson.
926. Gosh, I feel like we have. All right.
Maybe we have. It's possible. I like it. It's a good-looking house.
Oh, I
We
think
did.
we did.
Yeah.
I think we did. Yep.
All right. We'll move beyond that.
Let's see.
Loma Vista Place.
Ah.
2228 Loma Vista Place.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Loma Vista Place. All right. Where is it? Oh. Here it goes. All right. So, okay. 2228 Loma Vista Place. This is in Silver Lake. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,172 square feet of living space. Active on the market at $1,049,000. Open house will be, that's today, 4 to 6 p.m. And this is brought to 6 days on the market so far. This is brought to us by Sonia Koch.
Yeah, longtime agent. So yeah, this is. I'll just point out that this is on a stair street,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very interesting community. And the last home we sold there, which was years ago, a very connected community. I don't know if that's changed over time, but it was a good experience engaging with people on the couple properties we've sold on that stair street. So if you want to be forced to stay healthy, if you're not injury prone, like I can be with twisted ankles, you'll stay active and get some great value on a property. The only other negative is that there's no off-street parking. But gosh, man, in the direction things are moving these days, it almost seems innovative. Like they're now, parking can't be a requirement
Right.
as means, and I don't know all the details of that new regulation, but yeah, the places like this may become more common again, or they might be able to be built again like they were back in the 20s. You can't even
Okay,
build them now.
it's a couple things. So one thing I have not shared with you is that I guess there is a developer who is developing row houses in Boyle Heights. So I think you're right about that. We'll see how he does with it.
Yeah, we had some. There was a project in Echo Park they were looking into in row housing, and it depends on what all the components of row housing, but they were basically all stacked, connected, but they had parking. They all had parking. So, yeah.
You know, the other thing here, and I thought it's great that she brought this out. It echoes what you said earlier. She goes, the residents of Loma Vista Stairs are a tight-knit community who sometimes head over to the Red Lion together or host Scare on the Stairs, a Halloween event for the kids who live on the street.
Nice.
It's one of the streets that makes LA special.
I agree, 100%. And good for
awesome.
Sonia for pointing that out. She's an agent that
Yeah.
also would fall into that same category of making things special, being connected.
Now, it's
Yeah.
interesting as we look through the agent remarks. It says here, it says public staircase home. Please advise your clients that there is no parking specific to the property, but there is parking on Alessandro, the street directly at the bottom of the staircase. Public records show one bed, one bath, measuring 727 square feet. I don't know if you heard that. Did you hear that?
I didn't, but that's okay.
Oh, so it says public records show one bed, one bath, measuring 727 square feet.
Got it. Wow.
The house has not been altered since the previous seller's purchase, which at that time the house showed with 2 bedroom, 2 bath. The house was taped at 1,256 square feet, including the stairwell. Buyers to satisfy themselves with measurements, permits, etc.
My guess is a basement dig out on a stair street is the most
Yeah,
common.
and that's what. Yeah, exactly, and that's what we see below here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But can I say, for the homes at least I've seen, I mean, there's some good-looking homes on Loma Vista, but this one's pretty gosh darn at the top, if not the top.
It looks nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
from the photos we're seeing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right, let's move on. To
Let's do La Rota, 4918 La Rota.
okay. Okay, 4918 La Rota Avenue. This is Eagle Rock. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,496 square feet of living space at $1,089,000. Open house is, I believe that's Saturday, 2 to 4 p.m. And it's on a good sized lot, 12,113 square feet. It's been on the market so far 6 days, and brought to us by Rhonda Doyle and Tracy Dell.
I think this property's underpriced. Just
of course.
what made me put it out there. It's a big house in a great neighborhood. It looks like you've got some stairs to get to the front door, but you've got some great, huge patio, great outdoor space. This will sell fast, and it will sell over list price.
Yeah, yeah, easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was one I know I wanted to look at for sure. Let me find it here. I like this property. I like the price point again. 6255 Annan Way. It's a street in Highland Park, off of Figueroa.
There it is. All right. Okay, 6255 Annan Way, Highland Park, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 837 square feet of living space, 869,000 list price. It's on a 3,040 square foot lot, and opens are Saturday and Sunday, 2 to 4 p.m. And so far, 8 days on the market. And let's see here, Joanna Soul and Bradley Holmes. Congrats to them, listing agents.
I think this is underpriced. I see the limitation on the lot size, but it's got some bonus space in the basement, in the garage area. I love photo 20. I think could have led with photo 20 there.
You do your laundry and do your due all at the same time.
You know, that's my only comment, a little bit of humor, but it looks like a great property. It really does.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
see where it lands.
Cool.
All right, want to do one more and we're done?
Sure. I was going to be done there, but I haven't been in this area in a little while. So let's look at 3423 South Gramercy Place. It's an out of area agent.
All right. Oh, hold on.
I'm not sure how this got in here.
Why? Because it's old?
It's 90018, according
Oh.
to the zip code. Yeah.
I do not know.
That's why I haven't.
Did the out-of-area agent put it in the wrong? Let's see. He calls it
Oh,
Highland
yeah.
Park.
He put it in Highland Park. It's definitely not Highland Park.
All right. Well, we'll pass on that one. But what a good
Yeah.
lesson, right?
Yeah. I was like, I haven't seen Gramercy Place in a while. There's a little pocket of Los Feliz, but it's not South Gramercy Place.
Well, there's
Okay.
a reason. There you go. All right. Well, look, guys, thanks so much for spending some time with us. We do appreciate it. We hope you learned something. And if you do have any further discussions, we're here for you. Contact us. And once again, don't forget Art Unite, November 17th. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.
Bye.